Lu Shenshi, an 18-year-old otaku preparing to start college, lives not wholly alone in his flat, as his collection of waifu figures serves as his wives. Lu's life may seem humbling at first, but it is about to take a very exciting turn. Lu receives a new smartphone, which he promptly configures with joy and delight. Lu opted to take a little nap instead of waiting for his new smartphone to set up, only to be interrupted by an unfamiliar female voice. The strange voice asks if Lu yearns for superpowers. Like any other normal being, Lu considers this childish until an apparition of a goddess appears before him. But the alarm on Lu's old phone awakens him out of nowhere. Lu reached for his phone to silence the alarm, only to grab something else, a smooth and succulent kind. Lu opens his eyes, only to be met by yet another stranger in front of him. He instantly questioned the strange girl, only to be confused when she addressed him as master. Mistaken for a girl with peculiar kinks, Lu opted to call the cops instead, only to discover that his old phone had gone missing. Lu returns his focus to the girl, accusing her of barging into his house and stealing his phone. But the girl's response is truly magnanimously shocking, as she unexpectedly kisses Lu on the lips, utterly catching him off guard. Stunned, Lu pushes the girl back, only to have both of his hands land on the girl's chest. But things get strange when the girl starts to talk and sounds exactly like Lu's mother. Lu couldn't believe that the girl talks outrageously uncanny, like his mother calling him through the phone. Lu recalls his strange dream with the goddess discussing superpowers, and he quickly concludes that his newfound ability is to turn anything he touches into a living girl. But boy, he's wrong, because one of his favorite waifu figurines did not transform into a real person after he touched it. Lu now asks what's inside one of his files to see whether the girl is truly a transformation of his old smartphone. Our guy, Lu, is now chastised for being a man of culture and for hiding revealing image files of ladies in a folder called homework. Fortunately, Lu dodged the bullet while also confirming that his phone was now the living girl speaking to him. Lu asks for her name, but she says she doesn't have one. She also stated that Lu, as her master, should be the one to name her. Lu chose the name Yozora, which translates to night sky in English. The girl is overjoyed with her new name and instantly hugs Lu. While Lu is cherishing the moment, his mother's unexpected and sudden arrival makes him frantic. He swiftly advises Yozora to go hide because Lu has yet to come up with a solid excuse for his mother. He shoved Yozora into the closet and rushed to open the door, only for his mother to open it first. Lu's expression screams nervousness, and his mother is quick to see. Based on Lu's unusual behavior, she quickly realized that her son was obviously hiding something. Lu makes every explanation he can think of, but none of them will save him from what he just noticed. Yozora had left her shoes in front of the closet. Desperately, Lu attempts to grab the evidence before his mother notices it. But Lu's behavior raises even more red flags, and his mother now confirms that Lu is hiding something. Lu's mother surprisingly tosses one of her son's cherished waifu figurines into the air. Lu lunges to save his otaku treasure. He saved the figurine just in time, as did his mother, who also grabbed a pair of girl's shoes. Relentless, his mom now opens the cabinet only to find a cute girl staring innocently back at her. Lu's mother initially thought Lu had taken the girl home against her will due to the desperation of being single. But Yozora steps up and says that her master Lu did not force her or anything. The statement that should have consoled Lu's mother instead raises more questions since the word master for Lu enters the picture. Left with no choice, Lu kneels in front of his mother and confesses that Yozora is his girlfriend. He also explains that he was forced to hide Yozora in the closet because he was afraid she, as his mother, would overthink. Finally, Lu's mother believes him and sends her best regards. But before departing, his mother gives Lu a strange gift, something that implies Lu's mother is also a person of culture. Irritated, Lu throws the bizarre gift he received from his mother on the floor. But Yozora is intrigued enough to pick it up and munch it, packaging included. Lu quickly took it from Yozora and informed her it wasn't for eating. Yozora becomes increasingly curious about the strange object and inquires as to its purpose. Lu tries to come up with an excuse, but his hunger wins the moment. Our poor guy recalls that he didn't have anything for dinner the night before. Surprisingly, Yozora's tummy grumbles with hunger too. Worried that human food may harm Yozora if he carelessly introduces some to her, Lu decided to inspect Yozora's mouth. After an awkward moment, Lu inspects Yozora's mouth and finds nothing unusual. That means Yozora might be okay with human food. Lu gets a bunch of snacks and tells Yozora to eat to her heart's content. Since this is Yozora's first time with human food, she nibbled on the snack's wrapping again. Like a caring older brother, Lu teaches Yozora the appropriate way. Yozora's first experience with human food gives her overwhelming delight. Lu grows enamored of Yozora's adorable expression and gets to offer more to her, until a blinding light suddenly flashes. And just like that, Yozora turns back into her original form, Lu's old smartphone. Lu recalls how Yozora transformed from his old smartphone into a living female. He comes up with two theories: Lu's power refreshes at midnight or when he wakes up. Lu tries to prove the latter by trying to get some sleep. Of course, as expected, the guy can't fall asleep intentionally. Lu sits back up, considers how to fall asleep quickly, and only resorts to the ways of cultured men. But when he reaches for the napkins, Lu is reminded of Yozora's purity and resolves not to indulge his manly impulse. Instead, Lu takes one of his waifu plushies and tucks himself in like a child. The blinding light from earlier flashes again, waking him up just as he is ready to fall asleep. To his astonishment, a voluptuous green-haired young female is beside him on the bed. Yet another transformation occurred, only this time it was his blanket. Lu checks his phone, and one of his theories is confirmed. His power refreshes at midnight. The girl with the green hair invites Lu to sleep with her, but before he can respond, the lady holds him tightly close to her chest and says this is what they usually do together. All hope of converting Yozora has vanished, leaving Lu with nothing to do but weep. But the green-haired lady comforts him by hugging Lu from behind and pressing her huge gift on his back. Lu becomes flustered and eagerly explains the reason to the young girl, but the girl insists on sleeping in the same bed as Lu, just like they normally do when she's a blanket. Lu was forced to comply with the girl's request. He then inquires about the girl's name, and as expected, she does not have any. Lu must come up with a new name for her, and he settles with Beiji. Beiji enjoys her new name instantly, which gives Lu the gist that they were already that close even before this. The girls explain why, but it's more of a reality check for Lu's laziness. After explaining, Beiji takes Lu's hand and places it on her chest, imploring Lu to promise not to hit her. Lu instantly agreed, owing to the pleasantness of the current circumstances. Beiji sleeps comfortably beside Lu, who's now contemplating getting a more practical ability than what he currently has. Lu's concern grows even more as Beiji cuddles him while she sleeps, rubbing her entire voluptuous figure on him, making it difficult for him to sleep. A short while later, the blinding light flashes again, and Beiji transforms back into a blanket. Lu is disappointed, as the transformation only lasted a very short time. Before Lu can sulk himself to a more disappointed state, the aftereffects of his ability take a toll on him, rendering Lu in a very weak state. The next morning, Lu figures out the true nature of his ability. While he is busy trying to figure out his ability, Lu sees that it is unusually noisy outdoors when it should not be. Lu goes outside and discovers that a new tenant is moving in next door. Things outside seem to check out fine, but a strange noise caught Lu off guard right after he closed the door. Lu walks outside to check again and discovers a cute white cat right in front of their door. He gives the cat a good pat until a young girl abruptly calls the cat coffee. A young, cute girl in school uniform arrives for the cat and apologizes to Lu for the disturbance. Lu says it's fine, and he learns that the young girl will be his new neighbor. Call it bad luck or an unusual convenience. But the door to the next unit suddenly closed shut. Lu's new neighbor is now in distress since the keys to the door have been left inside, and she is likely to be late for school. The young girl requests that Lu watch over her pet cat because she urgently needs to get to school. Convinced by the new neighbor's cuteness, Lu accepted the responsibility of caring for the cat for the time being, only to be wishful, thinking that it would be ideal if he was left with a girl dressed as a cat. Lu is surprisingly enthusiastic about the task, as it appears that he longs to have a cute pet. He goes above and beyond to care for the adorable cat, providing it with a toy and plenty of food. Lu grew addicted to the cat's adorable trait without a hitch. But when the cat needs to dump, Lu's dismay instantly prevails. Now he realizes how difficult it is to have a pet. Lu also realizes that what if he tried using his power to transform a living thing, such as a cat, instead? With a cat girl and maid cosplay and his wild imagination, Lu is even more excited for the next refresh of his ability. But upon seeing his old smartphone, Lu is adamant about seeing Yozora tonight, and with oozing eagerness, Lu sets an alarm, a minute before midnight. After a moment, Lu's concern grows as his neighbor has still not picked up the cat in his custody. But when the alarm goes off, Lu is only concerned with transforming his old smartphone into Yozora. When Lu attempted to transform his smartphone, the clever cat foiled him by tossing a plushie into the air, which strangely and conveniently fell into Lu's hand. The cat plushie turns into a little girl, complete with working cat ears and tail. Lu is torn between being unhappy that he hasn't seen Yozora and delighted to witness a living embodiment of his fantasy. Especially when the young cat girl strikes a charming pose for Lu. Lu asks her to stop while breaking the fourth wall, expressing legal concern for the creators of this manhua. Lu reminds the young cat girl that she should behave as a normal human would. The cat girl happily obliges and introduces herself as Mimi, the name Lu's new neighbor gave her. With that, Lu learned that anything he turns into a human preserves the soul within. Another thing that has Lu's attention right now is Mimi's fluffy ears. Lu requests permission to touch Mimi's ears, which Mimi gladly grants. Lu happily massages Mimi's ears, but her tail has stolen his eye. Lu grabbed Mimi's tail out of curiosity, which gave her a strange sensation. Mimi grows uneasy and tells Lu not to do it again. Lu, feeling guilty, tries to bribe Mimi with food, which the adorable cat girl readily accepts. Lu hands her bread and a glass of milk. Mimi is generally oblivious as she drinks milk from a glass like a domestic cat. Lu grabs her and places Mimi on his lap before teaching her how to eat properly like a person. However, the young cat girl is clumsy, like a cute, adorable kid who needs additional care and attention. And just like a kid, Mimi can be adorable at first and annoying later. Mimi and the cat, Coffee, ran around Lu's house. Lu has had enough of the mischievous duo and grabs them both while staring at the havoc they have wreaked. Lu demands an explanation. Mimi tries to entice him with her charms, but she fails. Coffee, on the other hand, is ready to drop one of Lu's prized waifu figurines. Coffee, an adorable kitty turned into a cat with a knack for wickedness, purposefully drops Lu's figurine. Lu was able to save his treasured figurine, but not himself from Coffee's crafty paws, which hit him straight in the face. After the quirky commotion between Lu and Coffee, Mimi sensed their owner's return. Lu can't help but marvel at how a young female student could be so late coming from school. Mimi offers to accompany Lu as he prepares to check on his fashionably late female neighbor. Lu, however, stops her since she will be unrecognizable in her human form. Lu goes alone to check on the girl, and his neighbor, to his surprise, rushes towards him for refuge. He then grabs the young lady by the shoulder and asks whether she is all right. She said that she was simply exhausted from spending the entire day consoling her best friend. Lu, still concerned, asks the young lady questions. The girl interpreted it as though Lu was her father, constantly nagging her. For Lu, however, he is only expressing his deep concern for her own safety. The girl seemed to get his point and now wants her cat back, but Coffee conveniently steps out on its own. The owner is overjoyed to see her favorite cat return and expresses her gratitude to Lu. Lu, who is still unsure how to express things properly, reminds the girl about the cat plushie she gave along with Coffee's pet food. The girl recalls the hand toy but disregards it because it was already Coffee's old toy. Lu is left with no opportunity to explain, and the girl has simply left him standing by the door. When Lu returns home, he discovers Mimi on the floor, weary. He hurries to her aid and asks what is happening. Mimi responds that she feels very exhausted. While Lu is confused, the blinding light emerges and returns Mimi to her previous form as a cat plushie. The plushie floats in the air and speaks. "Thank you," she said. The plushie then gradually perishes into thin air. A powerful, unshakable sense of realization pervades Lu's entire personality. If the owner of something he brings to life no longer wants it, it will disappear as if it never existed. For the last time, Lu remembers Mimi's adorable, innocent smile for him, followed by a stream of tears and a cry of anguish and agony from him. Coffee and Mimi might be gone, but Lu is convinced what happened last night isn't a dream, so he writes down everything that he currently knows about his powers, including details about the time limit, its effects on his body, and the fact that the reanimated object vanishes when its human owner abandons it. Lu tries to move on by making himself excited about reuniting with Yozora, but what happened to Mimi will remain a painful memory for him. Thinking that moping is just a waste of time, Lu sets up an alarm and looks forward to transforming Yozora later. The alarm goes off, and Lu transforms his old smartphone to reunite with Yozora. Yozora quickly lunges at Lu with a warm and loving hug, followed by an awkward but quirky scene between the two. Yozora approached Lu to comfort him about what happened to Mimi. She's fully aware of everything that transpires, even in her original form as a smartphone. Lu replied with an assurance to Yozora that he would never think of abandoning her. Yozora is overjoyed as she expresses her utmost gratitude to her master, Lu. But Lu is growing uncomfortable with the word master as a form of endearment, especially if other people hear her say master out loud in public, like going on a date, for example. Thus, Lu asks Yozora to call him Onichan instead, brother in English translation, and for the first time, Yozora delightfully calls Lu Onichan, which serves as pleasant music to Lu's simpleton ears. The time Lu had been waiting for, a date with Yozora, has arrived. Lu treated Yozora nicely with everything she wanted during the day. Our guy is literally in tears as it is his first time going on a date, and with a cute girlfriend at that. Their date consists of quirky encounters, joyful, wholesome moments, and cute smiles shared by the two. Lu and Yozora were completely living the moment until suddenly someone approached them both, a female vendor of accessories. Yozora is instantly amazed by the shiny objects laid in front of her by the vendor. Lu quickly makes his move, trying to make a purchase to impress his date Yozora. However, due to the vendor's sly nature, Lu didn't have the chance to get his change after purchasing a ring for Yozora. The two now have no choice but to chase the vendor first and cherish the moment later. But the vendor was too quick, and they didn't catch up. What's worse is that both have now ended on the part of the district filled with love hotels. Lu tries to worm their way out of this sticky situation, but let's make things even worse. Add Lu's parents to the mix and voila, their situation is far more complicated than it was when it started. There will be no holy explanation or scholarly reasoning Lu can use if his parents catch him and Yozora lurks in that area of the town. To avoid the stake, Lu enters the lion's den instead by renting a room for him and Yozora at a random hotel. Little did he know, the hotel's receptionist ought to add more twists of awkwardness to Lu's current stick-up by issuing them a love-themed room. But Yozora, being a pure-hearted innocent girl, sees cuteness in the room instead of its real nature or its real purpose. And on the other hand, Lu knows too well what the design of the room is for, making stiff and awkward impressions while inside the said room. He reaches for the air conditioning, trying to make himself comfortable. The cool breeze of the AC somewhat relaxes Lu, but Yozora notices that her Onichan needs more relaxation. Yozora offers Lu a shower, which quickly catches his attention, except that the shower is completely see-through, with Yozora presenting it casually to him. Since the hotel shower is not in Lu's favor, he comes up with an excuse and tells Yozora that he'll do it at home instead. Yozora notices that Lu isn't his normal self. She knows almost everything about Lu already. That's why she can easily sense if something's wrong. Lu instantly feels very embarrassed, thinking Yozora knows him too well, but Yozora assures him that all his secrets are safe with her. As Lu decides to lie down on the bed, Yozora sits beside him. The silence between them breaks when Yozora confesses her feelings to him and says that she wants Lu to be exclusively hers. Not only that, but Yozora also, out of the blue, requests a kiss from Lu. Yozora slowly moves toward Lu, trying to kiss her Onichan, until she is suddenly reminded that the time is now up. The blushing girl turns back to her original form, leaving a loving phrase at the nick of time. Oni-chan, Dasuki. Brother, I love you, she said. Lu's face turns all red as Yozora's confession sinks in. Lu decides to check out, but the receptionist suddenly becomes nosy, asking about the girl he's with when Lu checks in. Witty enough, Lu turns the table instead by pointing out the receptionist's laziness. The receptionist sends him off, but Lu has no plans of going back there again. Lu started the day by continuing to record his observations about his superpower, such as the fact that natural elements like fire or water, as well as living things like cats and plants, cannot activate it. He foolishly tried his power on fire, which led him to believe that his power could not be awakened if a bandage was wrapped around his hand. He then came across a post on social media about a report about an engagement ring that was unintentionally sold to a pedestrian and was trying to identify him to get the ring back. To his amazement, the ring in the photo is the identical ring he purchased for Yozora. The seller who approached them yesterday came to mind, and he wondered why she said in her post that he was alone. He went out right away to find the woman who had sold him the ring. When he got to her, he returned it, and the vendor returned his money as well. He took advantage of the opportunity to inquire if he was alone yesterday and if she remembered the female with him. The woman replied that Lu was strolling alone that day and was puzzled about which girl Lu was referring to. Lu was perplexed and sought clarification at the hotel where they had checked in. He devised a strategy to prevent embarrassment. He made up a narrative about his missing backpack and wanted to see if he brought it out or not. The annoyed receptionist agreed and showed him the film from yesterday, when he was indeed alone and there was no backpack. That night, while taking a shower at his house, he concluded that when the time restriction expires, chunks of people's recollections of the girl will vanish. With a mind clouded with a lot of things, Lu had forgotten about the time. Lu also forgot that he was not wearing his bandage and accidentally activated his power on one of his underpants, and it transformed into a human girl with short gray hair. The girl was surprised that she could speak and stared at Lu's body. Lu realized it, felt embarrassed, and instantly covered himself. She only laughed and teased him, which made him kick the girl out of the bathroom. Lu was worried that that would happen, and it caught him off guard that it came true. After taking a shower, he did not find the girl in his room. He tried to look for her and saw her on the balcony, looking at the city night. She was curious about the outside world because she was always inside his closet or pants. She never got the chance to see the world outside, so she asked Lu to take her outside occasionally so she could breathe. Because of what she said, Lu's crazy imagination ran wild again, like he was thinking about wearing a long coat and exposing his underwear in public, making him look like a pervert. So he disagreed with the girl's request. So the girl explained thoroughly about going out just this once. He instantly agreed to it, and she jumped for joy. Lu was taken aback when she suddenly kissed him on the cheeks and excitedly grabbed him outside without letting him wear any clothes. Of course, Lu went out with the girl with his clothes on. Lu got a little tired from the girl dragging him and walking too fast. She asked him if he was physically weak, and for Lu, that sentence sounded weird coming from her. She again started dragging Lu for a walk, and while they were at it, he thought that she didn't have a name yet, so she called her Gray. She didn't really care about him giving her a name, and the attitude reminded her of Beiji. As she looked around the park, her eyes locked on a vending machine, and she got curious about it. Lu told her what that was and offered her a drink, but she wasn't interested in it at all. Still, Lu gave her a taste of the drink. As they sat on a bench drinking the Coke, Gray asked Lu if they could not go home tonight. He instantly said no because the weather was chilly and he might get ill, but Gray acted drunk to make him agree not to go home. Lu did not buy it, as it was impossible to get drunk with Coke. He lost track of time after objecting to her spending the night in the park, and the elderly couple walking by woke him up. Lu realized it was already morning, he's still at the bench, and that he had unconsciously slept there while he was hugging his underwear. Lu decided to start his new day by lying down on the floor and reading manga about people with multiple superpowers, wondering if his superpowers could be upgraded someday. He stayed positive about it, and maybe he could make sailor-uniformed girls or mecha girls. But just thinking about it made him realize that he may need to consume a lot of his energy just to make one of them. A loud noise from a car coming from the parking lot ended his contemplation about superpowers. He looked out from his balcony and saw two suspicious people doing something in the car. He instantly thought that they might be car thieves. He decided to go down and check it out. He hid somewhere where they couldn't see him. While the two thieves are busy unlocking the car, he has a crazy idea. He took out his phone and decided to throw it at the thieves. To their surprise, Yozora appeared out of nowhere and ended up hitting one of the thieves. She was sitting in the face of one of them, making him unconscious. She was also surprised by what was happening. One of the thieves was confused about what was happening, and Lu decided to be a superhero by jumping and doing his profound skill, Diable Jammi, which hit the head of the thief. After the car theft incident, they were back at the apartment, and Lu saw the news about it. The thieves are caught, and one of the thieves tried to explain what happened. The police and media did not believe him when he said the mobile phone transformed into a person, which caused his buddy to be unconscious. He was amazed that he could be a hero using his superpowers and that he could control the timing of Yozora's transformation. While he was amazed by himself, Yozora felt hot and asked Lu if she could take off her clothes. He then decided, instead of her taking her clothes off casually, why don't he take Yozora out to swim? That day, he took Yozora to the swimming park. She was amazed and excited at the same time, as she had never swam in her life. In Lu's mind, of course, because she swam as a phone, she would have been damaged by now. A tall, gorgeous woman in a white one-piece bikini suddenly came out of nowhere and offered them to buy a swimsuit since she saw them wearing casual clothing. Lu, as a man of culture, had his face flushed bright red by the woman's beauty. She led them to her shop, and Yozora told Lu that those pretty swimsuits were just like those on his phone. He was embarrassed by it because the woman heard it. He made the excuse that they're as his art pieces. The woman acknowledged it while bragging about how she created those. Lu whispered in Yozora's ear that she shouldn't talk about the photos on his phone. Lu was surprised when the woman shoved the bikinis right in front of his face, telling him that those are his proudest works and that she would give him discounts for them. But for Lu, those are too bold. One-piece suits are too childish to look at. But a couple's swimsuit caught his eye, and the flowy design of the swimsuit for Yozora fits her perfectly. After trying the swimsuit, he was amazed when he saw how cute Yozora was in her attire. They were about to go out of the shop to swim when he crossed paths with one of his friends. They came across Lu's childhood friend, Sin Shaolin. Shaolin is clearly in a bad mood, especially after seeing Lu strolling around with a cutie beside him. Lu introduces Yozora to Xiaolin, who is now much more irritated than before, especially after hearing Yozora mention the term onichin. It turns out that Shaolin has had feelings for Lu since they were kids. Back in the day, Shaolin even proposed to Lu, but Lu dismissed it as a humorous whim from a younger sibling. Besides, Lu thought they were too young for something like that at the time, but Shaolin has taken everything seriously since then. Despite the awkward intro meeting, Shaolin is such a good sport and introduces herself to Yozora in a sincere manner. It is so sincere that Shaolin seems to have known Yozora for years. Before leaving with her friends, Shaolin even warned Lu not to hurt Yozora in any way. The date between Yozora and Lu has passed, and Yozora finds Lu's popularity with other girls to be bothersome. Lu assured her that he solely considers Shaolin a sibling, but Yozora wants more guarantees. This leads Lu to ask if Yozora is willing to make their relationship official. But Yozora returns to her original form before she can convey her delightfulness at what Lu has just said. Lu genuinely vowed to wait for Yozora, no matter what. On the following day, Lu wakes up to an urgent call from his mom. Lu had no choice but to see his mother after being chastised for his tardiness. His mother shows Lu their old, battered red car, which has been unusable for some time due to an unknown malfunction. Lu's job is to repair the car, or his mother will have it replaced with a new one. Lu is not a skilled mechanic, yet he strongly opposes people abandoning beloved items simply because they are already worn out. So Lu tells his mother to leave the problem to him. Lu wants to be alone so he can use his power to convert the car into a girl and figure out what's causing the problem. The blinding light appears, and the red car transforms into a red-haired girl. The girl quickly recognized Lu as her master's son, despite her weary state. Lu offers her some water, but because she is only used to petrol in her car form, the girl coughs it back up, soaking her clothes. Lu also noticed that the girl coughed out some used engine oil along with some metal bits. These could be what caused the malfunction, as the girl appears to be feeling better after coughing it out. The redhead lady shows her appreciation to Lu, and the reward arrives unexpectedly generous. Our guy is now offered a voluptuous pair of thighs and knee-high stockings to sit on. However, Lu declines the generous offer, which the redhead girl interprets as age discrimination. The old car has been in Lu's family for almost 15 years, and the red-haired girl is aware of its fate when it is no longer safe to drive. She doesn't mind being abandoned, especially now that she has miraculously transformed from an inanimate object into a living, cute girl. But the red-haired girl has one simple but heartfelt request for Lu: take her outside for one last time. Lu says her request is too simple, and he can come up with a better long-term plan. He asks Yozora for help and comes up with a far superior solution. Any vehicle can still be used even after 15 years if it has received proper maintenance care. The redhead girl is overjoyed with what she just heard from Lu, grabs him, and thanks him sincerely. Lu is delighted as well, but before he can express himself further, his power takes another toll on him, knocking him out. Lu awakens in the following scene, with the girl transforming back into an old red automobile in the garage. Lu couldn't stop thinking about the true nature of his ability, and when his mother unlocks the garage door, she finds a bothered Lu. But Lu's ability to fix their old car truly amazed the mother. Lu then asks his mother if she is willing to give him their old car instead. Lu was not surprised when his mother quickly agreed. What surprises our MC is when his mother talks about him having a girlfriend already, which could suggest the mother might remember Yozora. Lu's mother agrees, somewhat angrily, that she does remember meeting Yozora. To avoid making his mother even more angry, Lu promised to take Yozora to meet his grandfather. After a few warm regards from his mother, Lu drives the red car home with him. Lu couldn't help but wonder what makes his mother remember Yozora when others don't. As he thinks of a way to confirm his theory, Lu sees something strange on the sidewalks and instantly stops the car. Lu notices a wounded cat left on its own. The cat bears a striking resemblance to Mimi, his neighbor's white cat. Lu, being the kind soul he is, takes the cat home with him and takes care of it. Lu named the cat Mimi, and it was overjoyed to have a new home and a kind new owner, but the case speaks differently for Lu. Because now, the lovable furry companion looks to have captured both Yozora and Biji's attention, leaving our MC feeling lonely. But for the time being, Lu must confront a much more worthy opponent, his final exam. As Lu attempts to focus on his exams, the whimsical cat grabs the end of Lu's bandage, and the blinding light flashes soon after. Lu is stunned to discover a short-haired female sitting on his work desk in front of him, having gone from clutching a solid plastic mouse to holding the soft, tender thigh of this girl. With the normal reflex of a gamer, Lu clenched the girl's thigh even more, which also triggered the girl's own reflex to land a counterattack on Lu, a straight, hard kick to the face. Not only did Lu not anticipate the girl's powerful kick, but he also did not anticipate that, unlike the other girls who transformed, this mousy girl is uninterested in a new moniker. The girl is more concerned about how she physically appears as a human. Lu takes advantage of this and manages to keep the girl away from his workstation. He merely wanted to see the results of his examinations until he realized he couldn't operate the computer since his mouse had transformed into a girl. Lu gives Mousy a good look, trying to figure out how to use her like a normal mouse cursor. Lu's awkward looks lead Mousy to believe that he is plotting something horrible against her, which Lu promptly rejects. So Lu patiently explains to Mousy that all he needs is his mouse to check his exam results on the computer. Mousy will gladly assist Lu on the condition that she first receive a body massage. Mousy is constantly pounded with simultaneous quick clicking from our MC, Lu, thanks to his heady gaming sessions. And Lu hears it right. A cute, short-haired girl demands a body massage from Lu. Lu had no choice but to comply and give her demands pronto. Everything appears to be innocent with Lu's massage to Mousy, and the girl appears to like it until Lu has a bright idea. Lu tightly grips Mousy's legs and disguises it as a traditional Chinese massage. Lu's massage causes Mousy to make strange noises and get terribly tickled, but Lu claimed that she would feel great and that it would all be worthwhile in the end. Mousy had no choice but to accept and tolerate Lu's deception towards her. Soon later, Lu's cunningness immediately backfires on him, as Mousy emits even more weird sounds that could potentially fluster the entire planet. Lu ends the massage and Mousy appears to be satisfied with it and off to do Lu's favor. The moment of truth approaches as Lu uses Mousy to go through his computer and verify the results of his exams. Lu passed with a score that was literally hanging by a thread. Lu rejoices at barely passing the exam while making Mousy feel embarrassed for the guy. After a grueling final exam, Lu is yet to face another challenge called summer homework. With Lu's unbelievable ability to have a very low IQ and an outstanding skill for being lazy, Lu couldn't think of a single word to write. Lu would rather spend his time and effort in being a cat than working on his summer homework. Hopeless and desperate, Lu uses his power to transform his beloved fountain pen. The blinding light flashes, and the pen transforms into a captivating white-haired babe. Not only does the girl come with a very captivating physical appearance, but she also has an unbeatable honesty that immediately slaps Lu with the cold, hard truth about him. Lu names the white-haired babe Lemmy just like the fountain pen's very own brand. He wasted no time and begged Lenny for help. As quickly as Lu begs the lady, he gets a faster refusal from her. First, Lu must do something for her before she grants Lu's request. Talk about Mousy's omen. Lenny couldn't think of anything for a favor right now, but that doesn't mean Lu is off the hook. Instead, Lenny teaches her lame master how to do his own schoolwork. Lu still insists that Lenny should serve him by doing his homework in his place. But Lenny displays her menacing side and urges Lu to be obedient or face punishment. Lu immediately obeys and works on his homework under Lenny's supervision. The misfit of a do finished one subject, and it proves one hell of a challenge for Lenny to teach someone with a very low IQ. Lenny decides to take a nap to replenish her fallen brain cells, while Lu is excited to begin working on his biology subject. But Lu is an all-bark kind of guy, and the biology homework swallows him whole, soul included. Lu therefore resorted, as before, to demanding Lenny's assistance. Only this time, Lenny triumphs over him. Lenny's enticing features now physically sit on top of Lu as he lays on the bed. She declares that she will teach Lu biology in her own way. Lu wakes up with no memory of what happened. Lu sees a letter on top of his homework stating that Lenny had done him a one-off by finishing his assignment. His joy at having his tasks completed is overwhelming, and so is his concern about what happened when Lenny got on top of him. which puts us, the audience, in the same boat as Lu. As part of his summer community service, Lu will start working as a cleaner the next day in a scenic spot. Lu is basically stuck with no option but to agree. The only advantage is that the position does not have a supervisor who is annoying and pompous, so Lu promptly changes into his uniform and begins his service. Lu hears a commotion nearby and goes to investigate. To his surprise, Lu sees a familiar face, Jong Yun. The uproar is caused by Jong Yun's ex-boyfriend, who continues to bother this damsel. Lu steps up to confront the menacing man, but he insists that Lu should mind his own business instead. But Lu musters his courage and uses his wits and a mighty but normal broom to turn the person away. The ex-boyfriend turns tail and runs away for his life. Lu's bravery moves Jong Yun, and she expresses her sincere gratitude. The two are ready to catch up when it suddenly begins to rain, forcing them to shelter in Lu's parked car. Apparently, Jong Yun's parents are so strict that she would be in big trouble if she returned home drenched. So she asked Lu if she could stay at his place until the rain stopped and her clothes dried. Jong Yun asks Lu as if she's a damsel in another distress. Another moment where Lu is basically stuck with no options but to agree. The two arrive at Lu's humble abode, and apparently, this is Jong Yun's first time visiting Lu at his house. As expected, the cat that Lu recently adopted instantly steals the female visitor's attention too. Lu gives his friend a towel and a dry set of his clothes. As soon as Jong Yun goes for a shower, Lu somehow regrets his decision to take Jong Yun to his house. But what's done is done, so Lu catches up with his friend Jong Yun over a bowl of hot noodle soup. Jong Yun can't help but notice the fountain pen she gave Lu a long time ago. Lu almost choked on the food he was eating, as he was somewhat reminded of Lammy. But Jong Yun is glad that Lu still finds her gift useful. As a gesture of her appreciation, Jong Yun insisted on washing the dishes. But Lu is too embarrassed to let his visitor do such a chore, so he insists on doing it instead, resulting in his bandage wearing off on its own. With a strike of unfortunate events caused again by the whimsical furry pet of Lu, Jong Yun suddenly loses her balance and is about to fall. Lu quickly saves Jong Yun from falling to the floor, but Lu cannot save himself from what's about to happen. The bandage on Lu's right hand completely unravels, and the shirt Jong Yun is wearing instantly transforms into a little girl. The cute little girl playfully greeted the now shirtless Jong Yun, and the embarrassed lady replied with only a scream. An eerie silence hugged the whole room, leaving the little girl confused. The silence broke down after a few minutes when Jong Yun demanded an explanation from Lu about what just happened and how the little girl appeared out of nowhere. Before Lu gave an explanation, he nervously asked her to promise him not to think of him as a delusional person. Lu courageously told her that he had superpowers, which shocked Jong Yun. She thought he was just exaggerating, but he thoroughly asked her to think about it and how he could possibly take off her clothes and make a little girl appear that instant. She thought long and hard about it, and it made sense since the little girl also looked like the shirt she was wearing. She finally agreed with him, though she's still confused about what his superpower is all about. He tried explaining everything from how it started until she finally believed him. Lu then asked her to keep the superpower a secret from others. As a friend, she understood the situation and agreed to his request. One thing she is concerned about is what to do about the little girl. He explained that she would transform back into her original form in due time. Her following question created another awkwardness between them. She asked if Lu saw something when she fell earlier, but she shrugged it off, leaving Lu confused. She changed the topic in a second, asking about the time. When she saw that it was nearly midnight, it got her worried, as her house is very far from Lu's and her parents are very strict, so they decided to make her stay the night at his place in exchange for Lu being her boyfriend. Lu is in a state of shock, and his imagination runs so wild that he thinks that Jong Yun likes him, but it seems impossible, and maybe he is just overthinking. He tried to stay calm and asked her why she would want him to be her boyfriend. Jong Yun explained that if he became her fake boyfriend, she could stay the night, and her parents wouldn't complain. In her mind, she's going to use Lu as a shield from guys who constantly pester her. Lu agrees with it, and she also asks him if he could be her boyfriend during normal times because she is afraid of her crazy ex-boyfriend. Lu agreed to it because it is fake anyway. Their topic was soon directed to the little girl, and she was asked to give her a name. Lu named her Yai after a piece of clothing. She was then disappointed with the way he named the girls. She instantly knew how he named other girls in the same way. He thought that women's intuition was scary, but setting the scary intuition aside, she liked the name Yai as it sounded nice, and for him to easily remember. Yai also agreed to it. Then they ended the day by sleeping. The morning came and Zhang Yun was bidding her farewell as she would go home. Lu asked if she needed a ride, but she declined. Lu was surprised when she leaned toward him, thinking that she'd kiss him. She was just going to ask him if Yai turned back to her original form. Lu was confused because she remembered her, despite Yai turning back to normal. After she left, a big question was on Lu's mind. How can she remember Yai even if she is not blood related to him? The ringing of his doorbell signals the start of the day for Lu. He furiously went to the door to answer it, but he was taken aback when he saw his little neighbor. She asked him if she interrupted his sleep, but he said no at that instant, telling her that he had already been awake for quite a while. The little neighbor asked him if he had a TV she could borrow because theirs was broken, and her classmates were going over to play video games. Lu, disappointed, told the little girl that he didn't have a TV, and she was shocked to know that there really was a person who didn't have a television at home. He calmly asked what was wrong with that. She said sorry for the trouble and left. Once he entered his room, he was thinking, isn't it normal for a guy who is alone not to have a television since he has a computer? He was going back to bed when his doorbell rang once again. His angry face showed up, and when he saw a delivery man, his face turned awkward. He received a huge parcel from his mother. To his surprise, it is an old box-type television. Lu thought his mother thought of him as a recycling center where old, unused junk was thrown at him. He tried to turn on the television, and it was working for a second, then white noise came out, and then it was working again. He saw the TV model was already phased out, so he retracted the idea of turning the old TV into a human. The old television turned into a young, beautiful woman with long black hair and called him young master, as her memory preserved that she remembered him, but not the house. Lu promised to fix her to the best of his ability. But another thing is on her mind, and she also asked him to see the outside world with her own two eyes, not using her signals. Lu takes her out to see the real world with her own two eyes, and she is amazed by what she is experiencing. She excitedly points to every restaurant and building that she knows and tells him what their uses are, especially the hotel, where she loudly and proudly said that it is where girls and boys date. He shockingly covered her loud mouth because too many people heard her. He decides to drag her away from that place and go to the mall instead. They were happily strolling around the mall while eating ice cream when she saw a beautiful blue dress by the store window. He read about the situation and allowed her to go inside the store. But before she could even browse the store, Lu asked the store assistant to make her try the blue dress she was looking at earlier. The moment she goes out of the dressing room with the dress on, the shop assistant and Lu give her a thumbs up, signaling that the dress suits her, and he instantly pays for the dress. While they are continuing to stroll around the mall, they cross paths with cosplayers who are holding a cosplay experience event. They approach the Rem cosplayer, and she asks them if they wanted to experience cosplay. Lu consents that she wants to try it but is just shy, so he urges her to try it even if it's her first time. She tries different kinds of costumes, and they all look cute on her. The cosplay staff asks them if they want to have their picture taken together. They both agree and take a picture of him and her while she is wearing a maid costume with thigh-high socks. They were walking home when she smiled at Lu and thanked him for fulfilling her wish. In her eyes, she is sad because she knows that she is already old and broken. After telling him that she had no more regrets, she suddenly vanished into thin air. Lu could not believe the television princess was gone just like that. His memory of her strikes him as painfully as when Nimi vanished. The next day, Lu takes Yozora on a shopping spree, telling her that she needs a wardrobe change. Yozora seems to not understand the essence at first, but when Lu tells her that she only wears one conspicuous dress, taking her out in public attracts unwanted attention. Not long after, Yozora feasts her eyes on a variety of clothes at the store. Given a ton of choices, the girl couldn't decide which one to pick. Lu helps her choose and goes to the fitting room to try, but our MC forgets one important detail. He forgot to pick a pair of pants for Yozora. Luckily, Lu is just nearby and prevents Yozora from coming out of the fitting room in such a revealing state. Lu rushes to grab a pair of pants for Yozora and calls it quits before anything worse happens. The two walk home while Yozora wears a cute smile while hugging new gifts that Lu bought for her. She couldn't thank Lu enough for making her happy that day, but Lu suddenly got very serious and halted. As our protagonist expresses his genuine gratitude to Yozora, a stream of tears comes rushing down from Lu's eyes. Yozora immediately feels the pain that Lu is enduring. She hugs the broken man and assures him that Lu will meet the television princess and Nimi again. Later that night, Lu decided to drown himself in gaming until he realized he hadn't eaten anything. He has no food left in the storage, so he must go out and restock his supplies. But as clumsy as he is, Lu forgets to put the bandage wrap on his right hand again. Too hungry or too lazy to bother himself with returning to get the bandage, Lu decides to make it quick and return before midnight. But we already know that this guy is a magnet for bad luck, don't we? Lu bought his stacks of instant noodles until he decided to have a different meal for a change tonight. He walks to a nearby diner and orders a beef rice bowl to go. Things didn't go as smoothly as he planned. Lu needs to make a run for it before he accidentally transformed a random object in the street. Rushing with quick steps, Lu suddenly slips and is about to fall. Lu amused everyone in sight as he successfully managed not to fall. But now Lu thinks he's in the clear. He takes a breather by leaning with his hand on the building wall. Thinking something that massive won't transform, well, think again. The whole building flashes in bright light, and a loud sound can be heard as if something exploded. After the bright light shines, the next thing Lu knows is that he is about to fall. Surprisingly, Lu comes unscathed after a great fall. But what is more surprising is that he manages to land comfortably on the very plump chest of a pretty blonde girl. With a massive building mysteriously disappearing into thin air, the scene is immediately covered by bystanders and policemen. One investigator questions Lu and the blonde girl, as they were both found exactly where the unexplainable event happened. Lu explains himself calmly to the investigator, while the blonde girl beside him lacks interest in talking. To avoid further involvement, Lu makes up a careful alibi that the girl is his younger sibling, currently in shock over what just happened. The investigator bought the excuse, and they're now both free to go. Now the big question is, how can Lu turn the blonde girl into a massive building without directing any attention to him while doing so? Lu cannot afford to be exposed as the culprit for the building's disappearance, especially when onlookers are now speculating that what happened is supernatural. He tries to ask the blonde girl for a favor, which she happily obliges as she remembers Lu's good deeds in the past. Lu diverts all the bystanders' attention by pretending to see a peculiar object while the blonde girl waits in position. Suddenly, when everyone is looking the other way, a massive ray of light flashes and the building reappears in its original location. Lu breathed a sigh of relief as the blonde girl successfully made it in time. His friend, Zhang Yun, surprisingly won this luxury cruise for two and decided to invite Lu. Lu arrives there early, and Zhang Yun playfully surprises him before boarding the cruise ship. The two notice a commotion happening on board, and it turns out that the cruise ship is undergoing maintenance until tomorrow. Since there's nothing Lu and Zhang Yun can do to change the facts, they roam the cruise ship instead. Zhang Yun is easily lured by the fancy merchandise on board, while Lu barely resists getting into the shopping spree temptation. After a whole day of roaming around the luxurious cruise ship, they decided to call it a day and rest in their room. But there's only one bed inside, and Zhang Yun casually invites Lu to sleep beside her. Lu quickly denounces her offer, which greatly surprises his friend. Not because of the way he rejected it, but because Lu spilled too much for his own good. Zhang Yun now insists Lu come clean and tell who's the lucky girl he just mentioned. But she is not prepared for what Lu is about to tell her next. Lu's girlfriend is, of course, none other than Yozora herself. Now Zhang Yun keeps pushing her luck by demanding Lu summon her right now with them, which Lu hopelessly obeys. The adorable cuteness of Yozora immediately steals Zhang Yun's heart, and she becomes too comfortable with her in an instant. Zhang Yun hugs and treats Yozora like a sibling, and Lu, on the other hand, is left in the oblivion of being instantly ignored. Luckily for him, Yozora always has her attention on Lu, but Yozora can't help but notice that the surroundings are strangely different this time. Lu explains about this luxury cruise ship tour, while Zhang Yun invites her for a night stroll on the ship's deck. Yozora becomes overwhelmingly excited when she first hears the term sea and immediately wants to look for herself. Lu is against the idea, but with Yozora's enthusiasm and Zhang Yun's cunning influence over the innocent young lady, Lu can't do a single thing to stop them. The breathtaking view on the ship's deck makes Yozora feel filled with unexplainable joy. Her heartfelt excitement and delight clearly showed all over her cute face, and Lu couldn't help but fall in love even more with the lady. But the beautiful moment quickly turns sour when two drunk male passengers start harassing both Yozora and Zhang Yun. Lu tries to step in, but he is easily shoved aside by the two drunk men. Left with no option to save the two girls, Lu decides to throw anything he can find. Then he sees the replica of the cruise ship he bought earlier at the merchandise store. As he is about to throw and use the replica as a weapon against the two drunkards, the figurine suddenly heats up and emits a blinding light that fills the whole deck of the ship. From the flood of light emerges yet another transformed lady, with hair as pale as snow and eyes gleaming in crimson red. Everyone is stunned by her dramatic entrance, and the two drunkards' attention is now drawn toward the white-haired lady. The two simpletons mistake the girl for a cosplayer who happens to mysteriously appear out of nowhere. Until the white-haired girl starts talking like she's on a warfare sort of roleplay. The drunkards find it hilarious, but Lu takes it seriously and grants her permission to launch an attack. And with only a single move faster than the blink of an eye, the white-haired lady incapacitated both menacing drunkards. Both amazed and scared, Lu is filled with great joy at having to summon such a powerful lady as her. But the white-haired lady proves to be overpowered as she plans to finish both the drunkards with her hand cannon. Lu managed to stop the young lady before she could completely obliterate the drunkards into tiny pieces. Yozora and Zhang Yun express their sincere gratitude to the lady, who admits she is simply following Lu's orders as a subordinate. But before she can continue with their battleship warfare roleplay, they need to return to their room immediately before they attract further unwanted attention. With Zhang Yun and Yozora sleeping like babies in the bed due to exhaustion, Lu is left awake while contemplating summoning two girls simultaneously in a single day, all while being stared awkwardly at by the woman with white hair. The white-haired girl is undoubtedly cute and cool, but she does act strangely odd and stares like a creep.